Hey guys, it's Rick with Ardex Marine. Hey, today we're going to be working on this Boston Whaler. We're going to be showing you three different products: the New Wave all-purpose cleaner, the VG variable grit compound, and the ocean polymer. And we're going to be working on this Boston Whaler interior. We've already done our hull. Our hull came out real nice. But if you take a look at the inside, let's just come around this way. You'll see this is a 1986 Boston Whaler. I mean, and this interior, I don't believe has ever been touched. And we've got artificial light here, so I don't really know how well you can see it, but this gel coat is just totally oxidized, no shine whatsoever. And it's that way really all the way through the boat, the non-skid down here, and just all the way back. The insides of the gunnels, over on the other side, the helm here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the oxidation on that helm. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just pull that windshield and pull whatever we can off of here. We're going to wash it down. We're going to do like a waterless wash with the New Wave. We're just going to mix some up in a gallon bucket, or 5-gallon bucket. And we're just going to take a Scotch-Brite pad and we're just going to wash this down. Then they're going to wipe it down with a polyfiber rag or a microfiber rag. And that's going to just pull all of the dirt. It's going to start to strip off of some of the oxidation. And hopefully just after that first cleaning step, we'll have a little bit of shine here. And then we'll go back and we'll hit that then with the variable grit or vanishing grit compound. Starts out about 800 grit and goes up to infinity, which leaves absolutely no swirl marks. And then we're going to come in behind that with our ocean polymer for protection. And this will protect this boat, which sits usually out back on a boat lift in the sun all day, every day. So we'll want to put a coat of this on here about every 3 or 4 months. We'll keep this gel coat protected. But that's what we're going to do, and we'll get some video along the way as we do it. So let's get to it, and we'll get back to you in just a second. Hey guys, I wanted to mention too that we've, before we even got started here, we pulled off all of the teak pieces, and we went ahead and we sanded them down and put a sealer on them. This is something else we do at Naples Yacht Services. And you know, this stuff, it hadn't been touched since 1986 either. And now it's looking like brand new. But there's quite a few pieces here. There's a lot of trim pieces and whatnot. It's a little bit tedious. This is the backrest of the helm, and it's a little bit tedious to sand it all down, get into all the nooks and crannies. But when you're done, you can see it's well worth it. So if you need any help with this kind of stuff, just contact us through the website ardexautomotiveandmarine.com, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, and as far as teak restorations go. So let's get on this thing. Okay guys, we're getting ready to clean this thing up, and you know, this would be a lot easier if we could first just kind of hose it out. But what's kind of cool about this stuff is that, like I said, you can do almost a waterless wash. And what I've did is mixed up this spray bottle, which comes with your measurements over here. We're at about a little over 2 to 1 on this mix, and then I've got about 3-4 ounces in this bucket. Now, New Wave being a high alkaline, super concentrated all-purpose cleaner, if you have sensitive hands, you might want to use, in fact, you definitely want to use the latex gloves with this stuff. Chris and I, we've been doing this stuff for over 20 years, and we're just not real sensitive to that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to do here is we're just going to start scrubbing this. Okay, we've got polyfiber rags close by, and what's really great about this is there's a lot of places that you can't get to with your buffing wheel. So doing this kind of a clean, almost, I mean, this is going to almost strip off all of this oxidation and have this thing just about ready to polish. Now, you know, these big open areas, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit these with the BG. But this is great for just cutting in. And I'll come up here so you know what I'm talking about. cutting into those places that you can't get to with your buffing wheel. It's just impossible to get everywhere with the wheel. And this will just strip this oxidation really fast, and it doesn't hardly take any work to do it. You don't want to let it dry. You want it to stay wet. And then we're going to take our fiber rag, wet it, wring it, and then we're going to come back in here and wipe it. And this is actually this is the rinse. Instead of using a hose, I'm just going to wipe it with a fresh microfiber rag. And once we're done with this, you can kind of see there's a shine already starting to pop out here a little bit. And we'll hit this area too. These areas that we cut in on. And this is going to turn out really nice. I won't bore you with me washing this whole thing down, so we'll get back to you here in just a little bit once we've got our wash down, and then we'll start laying on the BG, and I'll show you how that's done with a high-speed wheel. So we'll get back to you in a second. Okay guys, we've finished up with the new wave cleaning on this gel coat, pretty much on the whole front forward section here. And I'm going to have Chris continue, go ahead and clean it on back. And I'm going to start with the VG compound up here. And you know, this stuff is just, like I said, it's called VG. They call it variable grit or vanishing grit. And the nice thing about it is it's water-free, silica-free. It starts out at an 800 grit, and then it's actually, there's aluminum oxide like pellets in here that make up the grit. And when you work this with a high-speed wheel, it actually causes friction and it heats the material up, and the grit actually just melts into a high gloss, deep luster shine that's ready to throw some protection on. It's, you know, it doesn't protect, but it just cleans, and it just cuts all of this, the rest of this oxidation down. And the reason we do it with the new wave, because if you start running this, the new wave's kind of like your prep when you're doing a paint job. And you know, when you're painting, they say that prep is everything. And the same thing is when you're restoring gel coat, is if you don't start with a clean surface, then you're just compounding dirt and grime, and you're just rubbing that stuff back into the surface. And you're going to see with this stuff, we're just going to put a little bit on right up in here and see if we can't get you a little idea of how it works. And this is a DeWalt buffer. These are awesome buffers. We do this a lot. I mean, we do this professionally. So, you know, we went ahead and we sprung the money on this real lightweight. You can pick these up, not DeWalt, but you can pick up a high-speed buffer at Home Depot or Lowe's. They have them, you know, starting at around $50 for the do-it-yourself kind of guys that, you know, but it really comes in handy having this kind of a machine, because it just makes your job so much more easy. And I am so all about easy. So I'm just going to kind of rub this material around. You got to let the material do the work. So you got to have coverage. We're just going to start out with a real slow speed here. This is on about 800 RPM. We're just going to spread the material out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock my trigger. Spread the material a little bit more. I'm going to kick it up. A little bit of pressure. Now that's not dust. That's not dust, you see. That's actually wool coming off the pad. This stuff is almost dust-free. Which also makes it really nice. So you're not going to clean up afterwards. You can go right from this right into putting on motion polymer, which is your protection. spinning pretty quick. Pick it up from there. Okay, and the lighting here is just god-awful. We have no natural sunlight to show you the shine on this. And I'm just going to polyfiber rag right here. We'll wipe off this residue, and I'll try to get a camera angle where you can actually see this shine, because in this light I'm not seeing nothing. A little bit of sunlight coming in this side window. You want to wipe off your residue. Got a little bit of sunlight coming in this back window, or the side window. So we'll see if I can get Chris to hand. Can you see it? Being a light color like this, it's kind of tough to see as well. You definitely want to wipe off your residue if you have any material left. And then like this area here, we're just going to work this by hand because we can't really get our wheel up in there. But when I'm looking at this from the side, I can see the shine here. And I mean, it's really smooth. Really smooth. And like I said, very little dust. You can see right up in here the shine. And this is going to be ready for a coat of ocean polymer. And we got a little bit of work left here, so we'll get to it. We'll get back with you guys here in just a little bit. Hey guys, we're back on the 1986 Boston Whaler that we've been restoring the gel coat on the interior. We've already done the exterior hull, and it came out real nice. Get you a look at this. Now we are under artificial light. We have a very cloudy, rainy day outside. So we do got a nice place to work here. One of the things about working in this kind of light is you really can't see what your results are going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to wipe this thing down before we put on the ocean polymer with another Ardex product called Hydrogloss. What it is, it's a cleaner and a carnauba wax combined. And what that's going to do is it's going to clean off any of the residue that might be left behind from our VG compound. And it's going to just prep our surface beautifully to apply our ocean polymer. It's kind of almost like a waterless wash. The Hydrogloss is highly concentrated, mixed with water. At about we're going to have it probably at about a 5 to 1. It comes with mixing instructions on the bottle, and you know, so it's really easy to mix up. But like I said, it is highly concentrated, so a little bit goes a long way. And you just spray it on, you wipe it off. If your car or your boat is really dirty, it's a great way to just keep your car looking great or your boat looking great all of the time. If it's just a light coat of dust or dirt, you can just, like I said, just spray it on and wipe it off. If it's real dirty and gritty, you give it a little bit of a wash, and then while it's still wet, you just spray on the Hydrogloss and then wipe it down with a microfiber rag, and you are looking good again. So we're going to get to this thing, and we'll get back with you here in a little bit and see how she turns out. Talk to you in a bit. All right, guys. We're doing the ocean polymer on this thing. We hit it with a little bit of, we wiped it with Hydrogloss just to get the compound dust off and whatnot. The VG, even though it's very low dust. Doesn't mean that it's no dust, but so we plus this both sat over the weekend, so we in a garage, so it had dust, a little bit of garage dust on it too. But our lighting in here is terrible. We did go ahead, we hit all of our railings with the ocean polymer as well. And, you know, it was supposed to 1986. So if you get down and take a look, you know, some of these mounts and whatnot are just, you know, they're pitted and corroded, and there's, short of replating these mounts and whatnot, they're just not coming back to brand new. But the finish, as you can see, the gel coat, that's what we're really working on. And that's what came up here really nice. And I just applied this with a microfiber rag. I took it off with a microfiber rag. It's very humid, so it didn't dry completely, which is okay. This material, you know, it can be a plug-in. If you let it haze up, or you can take it off wet. It works great either way. And I think Jim's going to be real happy with this boat. And we've kind of taken you through all of this with the wash down with the Scotch-Brite pad and the New Wave cleaner. It's an all-purpose cleaner that starts stripping and prepping your surface. Remember, when you restore gel coat, it's kind of like doing a paint job on a car. Your prep is everything. And unless you have a clean surface to start with before you start compounding, you're just going to compound that dirt and dust and just keep grinding it into the gel coat. So you want to make sure your surface is nice and clean. Then you go back with a good, in this case, we use the VG compound, which starts out at an 800 grit. And then it just actually kind of melts away into infinite grit. And you wind up with a swirl-free finish, kind of like what you're looking at here. And then we go back in after that, and we put our protective coating on, or our wax, or whatever. In this case, we use ocean polymer. It's a salt-resistant, UV-resistant polymer wax that really protects quite nice for extended periods in extreme sun, extreme weather, and extreme heat conditions, extreme salty conditions. Works great on cars in the wintertime if you live up north. And you're tired of that salt spray in the wintertime, rusting out your car, put a coat of ocean polymer on it before the snow starts falling and before they start salting the roads. And your car finish will appreciate it, and you know, keep that up throughout the winter season, and keep your car protected from the salt. And that's really what this stuff is designed to do. It is a salt-resistant sealant, and it was designed for marine applications, but it sure works good too for protecting your car in those salty roads. So we're going to get back to this thing. We're going to go ahead and finish it up. Might get some shots of it when we got all the teeth put back on and everything. And hope to get back to you real soon.